Hi all, welcome to another video of Berg Performance, and in this video we have this beautiful looking Volkswagen Golf 7.5 2.0 TSI GTI TCR. And we will show you what we have achieved with our Stage 2 custom solution for this vehicle. So, the hardware modifications that we did to this car. This car has been fitted with a catless downpipe in combination with a OPF delete, which we have here in Europe. So the catalytic converter has been removed. Turbo inlet pipe has been enlarged, and the owner of the car has already opened this hole in here, as you can see, to let more air into the airbox of this vehicle. Normally you have the Racing Line R600 inlet, which you can install in these vehicles, but you can also simply just open up this hole and it will get a lot of air indeed as well. So because the turbo inlet pipe diameter is a little bit bigger, the owner of the car also upgraded the pipe that goes from the airbox to the turbo inlet pipe with a forged silicone hose. And yeah, it looks kind of sexy. So one more important notice about this car. These cars have, of course, an intercooler integrated into them. We get a lot of requests from people, yeah, how much horsepower can you extract out of this engine? X does this and Y does that and blah, blah, blah. You know, the amount of horsepower that we can achieve from a vehicle is dependent on the hardware modifications that you do to a car. So if your budget allows to upgrade the car accordingly, then you can get safe amount of horsepower accordingly to those kind of hardware upgrades. This intercooler will heat soak. The owner of this car already knows it. After a few pulls, the inlet air temperature, so the intake air temperatures will get a little bit higher, and then the car will lose a little bit of power because of the higher boost pressures. And he is also going to upgrade this intercooler with another one. But the budget was not allowing at that specific moment, and we knew that already, so it will be upgraded. And that's also my recommendation. If you're going to tune a car, some cars, not all cars, but some cars have like a few points in the hardware which you really need to upgrade in order to get reliable, high power numbers in a consistent way. This car is producing a lot of power. It is running great. As you can see also from the Dragy numbers, it is really able to achieve some astonishing numbers on 98 fuel and with the stock intercooler in place. But I know if we're going to upgrade this one, it will be even better, and maybe we can bump up the boost just a little bit more. So there we go, the POV of the Golf 7.5 with a very long name. My cameraman was laughing. I will call my cameraman Oleg from now, because that is his name. His name is not cameraman, his name is Oleg. So Oleg was laughing. This is one of my favorite Volkswagen Golf cars there is. I think it is my favorite Volkswagen Golf. You have the GTI versions, of course. You have the Golf R version, and then you have the TCR version, which is a more track-focused car with bigger brakes, the same setup, hardware setup as the Golf R, but only front-wheel drive, which is very fun. But besides that, it is also lighter and it loses less time for example, during accelerations, because it only has a front-wheel drive system instead of a 4Motion system. And the brakes are very aggressive. Oh, as you can see, the brakes, I swear to God, the brakes are very aggressive, and I like it. And I think in the Volkswagen group, for a driver, you really need to have this car, and for drag racing, you need to have the Golf R, because it's a 4-wheel drive car. So the 0 to 100 time doesn't make any sense is also very dependent on the road conditions, the weather conditions, the tires, the driver input. It is so dependent on multiple factors that sometimes you can be 1 second slower than the other time. The best time I managed in just only one run that I did, so not forcing the car because it's not meant for a 0 to 100, is a 5.1 or something like that. And I think if I have more grip, I can get it into the 4 second mark, especially when you consider that I did the run when it was colder weather outside. Now it's warmer, but it started raining now, so I cannot do it again. And for the 100 to 200, we managed to do a 9.2 seconds, which is very fast. So if you want to compare it, for example, to a BMW 540i xDrive, because that's another car that I'm working on in the shop right now, that car with 98 RON and 470 horsepower does a 9.8, 9.5 or something like that. So this car on the road when rolling, because of the weight and the front wheel drive and the whole drivetrain and the power delivery, is even faster than a B58 tuned when in a 5 series. So if you have a 1 series, of course, the B58 will be faster again. So it's all which platform it is, what kind of weight does the car has, what kind of fuel are you running, etc, etc. But this car, it is really fast, it is reliable, and the custom tune that we made to this car, and that's the point, when we are custom tuning a car, it is not only flashing a car and that's it, hey, you have 400 horsepower and there you go. No, it doesn't work like that. We do a lot of revisions to make the car run absolutely perfect with regards to the boost control, with regards to the ignition timing on the fuel that we're using, with regards to the weather that we have. And it takes a lot of time. That's why we also say, like, hey, if you want to let us tune your car in a custom calibration way, we need to have your car 2 or 3 days in our shop. Then we can get respectable results of the car and have a reliable tuning for that specific vehicle. And I think really the handling of this car, the power of this car, the drivability, I mean, it drives really fine. And I think this car also has a, yes, I see it here. Here it is. It is a valve controller, of which I don't know when it's on or off, but yeah, I did not build it in. But still, okay, let me just shift back. 3rd gear, full throttle. Wow. That BMW behind us didn't like it. I think there was a BMW tailgating, which is obvious, but we lost him, so that's the good news. But we also raised the torque limiter. We also raised the RPM limiter to approximately 7,000 RPM. So if you look at the RPMs right now, in manual mode, I'm going to shift. Look at this. It surpasses the 7,000 RPM mark, and it sounds great. It just goes like stink. It is such an adorable car. I think if I had to choose one daily, and I think Jeremy Clarkson once told the same thing in Top Gear, that he was driving a Golf GTI or a TCR, it doesn't matter, just the Golf GTI platform as a daily basis car. And I really can understand why, because it's perfectly practical, it has a lot of room, it has the comfort that you want in a daily car, and it is quite affordable as well. It's not cheap in any way, but it is affordable. You can, if you save some money, I think you will be able to buy these kind of cars. The torque steering of the car, it is not that bad, to be honest, because of the front differential that has been equipped to this vehicle, and it just hooks up, it just goes. What we're going to do now, the times you know, the power you know, we are going to re-measure this car on a second dyno, so that you can see that also from dyno to dyno the results can be different. We have already measured this car on a dyno which is perfectly fine, that's it, so we are not bashing a dyno or something like that. It's just to give you guys a view of that one dyno can be different than the other. And in the end, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what kind of power it puts down on the dyno. The Dragy numbers will tell, and also the lines that we achieved there to perfectionize or to calibrate this car absolutely into perfection. That is the important part of the dyno, and not the end power numbers that you will get there. And that's also for us. For example, sometimes we get lower numbers that are faster than other cars on the internet. Sometimes we get higher power numbers that are maybe faster or slower than other cars on the internet. It doesn't really matter. When we have our dyno in the shop, and that will be in approximately 3 weeks from now, because we are moving to the new location and everything has been set for the dyno, then we can really provide our own dyno figures on the same dyno with the same setup for each and every car. And that is the only really comparable result that you can get in one location on the same dyno, and then with the same setup that you will be using. I think it's a very fast car. What do you think, Oleg? It's cool?
Yeah, very cool.
You can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. I had to brake for the car in front. So on the previous dyno we achieved, it was I think 400 horsepower and 530 or 550 Newton meters of torque. Now let's see what this other dyno will measure this car to. I'm really curious. But really, the driving, the shifting, the burps that you get from the DSG, so the DSG farts that this car is producing, it is a lot of fun. And we did not program any kind of unnecessary pops and bangs or burbles or crackles or flame maps or whatever you would like to call it. This is just stock burbles, stock crackles that this car was producing when it left the factory, and we like to keep it that way for this customer as well. Seriously, this car is fast. It really goes. Okay, so I'm also tuning a manual BMW M140i currently in the shop, which we are going to provide with a custom Stage 2 Plus hardware setup. So the upgraded fuel pump, the catalyst downpipe and everything. But yeah, and I was thinking like, okay, let me get a manual BMW rear wheel driven one. But also this car is a very good option for another daily that I would like to use instead of the M2, because I'm making way too much mileage on the M2. So we have the results of this car. To be honest, I really don't remember, and I cannot find the old document that we had on the previous dyno, but in the meantime I will try to get it into the screen. So if you have it, Oleg, then you can just add it into the video. This is the second dyno run session that we did for this car on a different dyno, as I was saying. And these are the results, and this is exactly what I would like to explain. So run number 1, 408 horsepower, 553 Newton meters of torque. Sound. Run number 1, 408 horsepower and 553 Newton meters of torque. You can ignore this run. This is false. This run has been made to calculate the transmission losses for this specific vehicle on this dyno. So that run doesn't count. It gives a nice indication of what is capable, but it's not the truth that this car is doing. Run number 2, 390 horsepower, 537 Newton meters. Run number 3, back to back, 394 horsepower, 533 Newton meters. and run number 5, 388 horsepower, 536 Newton meters. And this is normal. We did these runs back to back without pausing the vehicle for a very long time. And this is exactly what I was saying about the intercooler part. Remember from the first few part of the video that when the intercooler is not capable of cooling the car too much, then it will in the end mean that the power will be reduced by a certain amount of horsepower. Especially in hot climates, this will even show its effect more than what you see here right now. So the power of this car is 395 horsepower and 537 Newton meters of torque. That is respectable, and also, like, please forget about the peak powers right now. Look at the curves. This is almost flat torque what this car is producing, and in the top end you can still see, you know, it has a lot of horsepower all across the rev range. And that's why the calibration of this car is so good. It shifts perfectly. The times, the Dragy times are really astonishing. It's just a very good car to tune when you do it properly. I think this sums it up nicely. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.